namaste, good morning, and welcome to the Vedanta Center of Greater Austin and our meditation class. So this being the last Saturday of the month, as usual, instead of the Gita class, we have a class on meditation. And as I have said sometimes in the past, this is not a substitute for the instructions of a spiritual teacher who gives initiation. But even those of you who have initiation and have meditation instructions and follow that instructions as you should, this class is to sort of give you a broader idea of meditation. Anyone who has ever done teaching in any subject and in any capacity, any formal teaching, you know that you have to know more about the subject than you are actually going to teach. You can't teach all the way to the edges of your knowledge of something. And so with meditation, even though you may not teach meditation, it's good to know more about meditation than what you actually practice, because it amplifies your practice. It gives a larger background for the things that you actually practice. And so in this class, I try to give several different viewpoints of meditation. And whatever your actual daily meditation practice is, this class is intended to, again, just give you a taste of different types of meditation, different practices, different approaches, so that you have a larger understanding of the practice itself. And that in time should help you with your the actual practice that you do. And some of you, even if you're initiated, and certainly if you're not initiated, you may find some of these practices helpful and you may want to incorporate them. That's up to you, and according to what your teacher told you as far as the practice that you are to do. But that being said, again, this is not a substitute for formal instruction, but it is very helpful. Another thing that I have said on rare occasions, and so let me say it again today, is that some people find guided meditation very, very helpful. When I first came and joined the order in 1969, the Swami I joined under, he was not my formal teacher, but he was very important in my life. He used to give guided meditations at the Tuesday and Thursday night classes, and I found them very helpful. And Swami Ritajanandaji, a great Swami of the order who was head of our center in France for many years until he passed away some number of years ago, he told me that he thought guided meditation was the best way to teach people how to meditate. On the other hand, there are those who hate guided meditations. Even one of our Swamis, he's presently the president of the order, Swami Smarananandaji. He told me that he couldn't stand guided meditations. And others also have told me that they dislike guided meditations. So, as with any matter of opinion, it's not that it's good or bad. It is something that some will find very helpful, some will not. Some people tell me that whenever they follow a guided meditation, they're thinking about, well, I should be doing my own meditation rather than what he's telling me to do. So if you find the guided meditation helpful, as many do, and I think most people do, then well and good, then follow it. If you find a guided meditation in any way irritating or bothersome, then it's just a matter of temperament. Don't feel bad, just turn it off. So don't feel bad about that. So this is meant for those who find guided meditation helpful. And that, I think, is a majority of the people. And so again, usually when I give this class, I give some general comments at the beginning about meditation. So let me zero in on meditation itself and say something, and then we'll begin the guided meditation. So meditation can be approached from various standpoints. I have often in this class approached it from the standpoint of being here now, and how we have a tendency, more than a tendency, it's an ingrained habit of being there then, meaning we're always thinking of somewhere else rather than where we are. and some other time rather than the present moment. The present moment and right here seems so insignificant to us that we are always looking for something else, some other time, some other place. But in meditation, it is essentially a practice in learning to be here now, bringing the mind into the present moment and being right here where I am, not being somewhere else. And so that's one very important way of approaching meditation. I've spoken about it various times in this class, and I will continue to speak about it because we need constant reminders of that when meditating, we try to bring the mind here and now, not thinking about the future, something I need to do when I get up from meditation or tomorrow, not thinking about something I did yesterday or before the meditation today, and not thinking about other places, who is doing what where, just being right here. And so to do that, we need something here and now that is in the present moment to focus on. And so the topic of meditation, the object of meditation, the theme of meditation is that which we try to hold on here and now and emphasize that what is important is right here, right now, what I'm doing. Nothing for me is more important right now than this that I'm trying to do. Even telling yourself that, you find the mind runs away after a few seconds. When you find it's run away, you bring it back. So today, again, I've spoken of this a number of times and will in the future. So let me say something from another standpoint about meditation, not contradictory. It's the same meditation, but just looking at it at a slightly different perspective. And that is that in meditation, we try to make whatever the object or theme of our meditation is, we try to make that everything. If I'm repeating a mantra, then the mantra for me in that time, I should try to make that everything. The mantra is my whole world right here, right now. If I'm visualizing, what I'm trying to visualize, that is everything right here, right now, but that is my whole world. There's nothing anywhere else. This is all that there is. If I'm praying, that conversation I'm having with God is all that there is. There's nothing else. And when the mind tries to present other things to think about, and you catch yourself, then keep reminding yourself, there's nothing else, nothing else. Certainly nothing as important as this. You may find it hard to convince yourself that there is nothing else, though eventually you can do that too, because you realize there is nothing else. But until you get there, you can at least convince yourself that there's nothing so important as this. So right here, right now, and this that I am holding on to is my whole world. So if you're in conversation with somebody about something that's extremely important, and someone comes and tries to interrupt, then you don't bear the interruption. You say, leave me alone. We've got to talk about this. This is important. It's right now, right here, right now. We've got to talk about it. We've got to work this out. So no distractions, get out of my way. Don't talk to me. We are talking right now. So like that in meditation, there's nothing else so important. And in fact, in time, you begin to feel that there is nothing else. There's just this. And so again, to use the example of repeating a mantra, then the mantra is the whole universe is within the mantra. There's nothing outside of it. And so you just focus on the mantra. That takes a long time. Don't think that it's easy. Don't make it hard by thinking that it's hard, but just recognize that if you do the mantra practice for a long time, over a long period of time, for many times of sitting for meditation and it hasn't happened, that's okay. That's normal. That's the case with all of us, except for a Ramakrishna or a Vivekananda, who were born perfected in meditation. For the rest of us, it takes years, but it's worth the practice. And so from the beginning, start with that idea that what I'm doing is right here, right now, and there's nothing so important as this. So with those words of introduction, last time we had a meditation, last time in this class, meditation class, we did a meditation on mantra. And so let us do that again today, because again, this is to give you a taste of different types of meditation. And so I've done a number of meditations in this class on a type of mindfulness where you're just mindful of the presence of the body in order to anchor the mind in the here and now. It takes a number of repetitions of each type of meditation in order to get a feeling for it. And so we will do mantra meditation again today. And let me say that, as I did last time, that if you have a mantra that you use, whether it was a mantra given by a teacher in initiation or a mantra that you have chosen because you like it and you use it, if it's a mantra that you are accustomed to using, then you can use that. I will speak in terms of just the mantra, which will refer to whatever mantra you use, or I will speak in terms of Om as the mantra. But whatever mantra you use, understand that in place of the mantra or Om. So Om, for those of you who don't have a mantra and don't know what to use, you can use Om, the most universal symbol in Hinduism, and the most sacred single word within Hinduism, because Om represents God as person. It represents the absolute beyond all idea of personality, the infinite Brahman, and it represents the whole universe and every part of the universe. So you can't have a more comprehensive symbol because there is nothing outside of Om. And so if you use Om, and some of you may have Om within a mantra that you received from a teacher or within a mantra that you have taken up for your own use. You can think of Om as the very vibration, which starts in the back of the throat and ends in the front of the mouth. The whole soundboard of human vocal production is involved in saying Om. So you think of it as wholeness. Wholeness, W-H-O-L, etc., and holiness, H-O-L-I-ness. So wholeness and holiness. It's the whole of all of that, the whole of the universe, the whole of all aspects of God, from the personal God to whom we pray and to whom we love and to whom we relate, and the absolute, which is beyond all possibility of thought. So now we will begin the guided meditation. And as always, listen to the instruction first at each stage. And then after I finish the instruction, then try to do it to the best of your ability until the next instruction. And every time you find the mind wandering away, just bring it back to the instruction that we're working on in the moment. So with that, we will begin. Om Ardram Jwalati Jyotirhamasmi Jyotir Jwalati Brahmahamasmi Yohamasmi Brahmahamasmi Ahamasmi Brahmahamasmi Ahamevaham Mam Juhomi Swaha. Melting into the light, I am the light that shines. The light shines, the light which is Brahman. That which I am is nothing but Brahman. I exist, and I exist as Brahman. I myself offer myself into the infinite light, which is myself. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Let us begin the meditation, as always, in this class with 4 deep breaths, breathing in deeply, exhaling completely, holding the lungs empty for a moment or two, beginning again, doing that 4 times in order to calm the body and the mind. Again, as I have said on occasion, this is instruction which is given to people like public speakers who are nervous about getting up to speak in front of an audience. They're told to take several deep breaths and to force all of the breath out of their lungs at the end of each exhalation, and then breathe in slowly and deeply again in order to gain control of their nerves, to gain control of themselves, to become centered. So before meditation also, it helps to do things like this in order to bring the mind into the present moment and to let go of the past and future. So again, breathe in deeply, exhale completely, forcing all of the air out at the end of the exhalation. Hold your lungs empty for a moment, and then breathe in again, doing that 4 times, and then breathe normally again. And now let us use the breath as a vehicle for sending out thoughts of goodwill towards all beings everywhere, remembering that in the welfare of others lies our own welfare, and that in the ability to establish a deep sense of harmony with the world around us lies the freedom of mind to turn within. Because when we feel that our relationship to the outer world is broken, part of the mind is obsessed with trying to repair that which it feels instinctively should not be broken. As I've often said, remember that we can never establish perfect social harmony because of the different aims and desires and motivations of different people. We can't get to a place where everyone likes us and we like everyone in a social sense. But we can get to the place where we feel a deep harmony with everything, with existence itself and all of its manifestations and all beings, where there's an underlying harmony which is sustained even in the presence of social disruption. It's that we want to establish. And so let us think as we breathe in that we are breathing in goodwill, charging ourselves with goodwill from all holy spiritual sources in the universe. And as we breathe out, we breathe that goodwill out in all directions towards all beings everywhere, without restriction, without hesitation. May all beings everywhere realize what is good. Or you can do the same and think the same in your own words. So breathe in goodwill, breathe that goodwill out in all directions. May all beings everywhere realize what is good, and continue in that way until the next instruction. As I have often said, as you breathe in, think that you are breathing in through every pore of your skin, not just through your nostrils or mouth. And as you breathe out, think similarly that you are breathing goodwill out through every pore of your skin towards all beings everywhere, without hesitation and without restriction. Breathe in goodwill, breathe out, may all beings everywhere realize what is good. And now let us turn our attention to the physical body in order to bring it into a state of deeper harmony so that it serves as an instrument of concentration and not as an obstacle as it so often is. We eventually seek to go so deep in meditation that we forget the body, the very perception of the body disappears. But that's a very high state of meditation. That doesn't come until the high stages of meditation have been attained. And so long before we can do that, we have to purify our awareness of the body, refine our awareness of the body, that awareness which is so much with us all through the day. So let us, in an effort toward that, think of each part of the body, starting from the toes and working up gradually part by part to the top of the head, picturing each part in the mind's eye as we go, as pure, perfect, full of light, no matter what its actual condition might be. Picture it as pure, perfect, full of light. In that way, go from the toes part by part up to the top of the head, leaving nothing behind. And after coming to the top of the head, then picture the whole body at once as pure, perfect, full of light, as a God-given instrument for the realization of truth in this very life. So again, start from the toes, work up part by part to the top of the head, picturing each part as pure, perfect, full of light. Then picture the whole at once as pure, perfect, full of light. After coming to the top of the head, once again briefly scan over the body, looking for any remaining points of tension, such as tightness in a muscle or a joint. Send the light of your awareness to any such area, bathe it, as it were, in the light of your awareness, and feel that it's relaxing and coming into harmony with the rest of the body, and then return to contemplation of the whole. Try to experience the body as one system or field of energy, not as a solid, heavy material object as normally we experience it. Try to feel it as a field or system of energy. That is, when our eyes are closed and we're not looking at the body, we have a sensation of the body's presence. We can feel the outline of the body from the soles of our feet to the top of the head. Areas which we can't see directly with the eye, we can feel directly. The small of our back, the backs of our heads, etc. We can feel them directly. That sensation that we have of the body's presence is the experience of the body as a field or system of energy, the field of sensation, which is an energetic field. When we pay attention to that sensation of the body's presence, we can, when we become quiet, we feel it as a slight vibration. And so it is the perception of the body as an energy field, a sensation field. Try to experience it directly as such without superimposing ideas of the body's materiality, heaviness, solidity, etc. For right now, don't think of other things, just relax, wakefully relax into the simple sensation of the body's presence, that energetic field of the body. Just keep your mind simple. Wherever you feel any special points of pressure, such as your feet on the floor, seat on the chair, hands in your lap, try to experience such points of pressure as simply concentrations of sensation in the general field of sensation, which is the body. That is, don't interpret those sensations as my solid feet pressing against the hard floor, my solid hands resting on my solid lap. Just feel it as sensation, concentrations of sensation in the general field of sensation, which is the body. And then that way you can come to a point where you feel practically weightless and floating. Now we are ready to enter the heart of the meditation. Being aware of the fact that the body is just a field of sensation, that is a field of energy, that is a vibratory field. And being aware of the fact that all sounds are vibrations. The light that we see coming from objects, all that we see is vibration. All that we feel is vibration. Everything is experienced as vibratory, as vibration. Remembering that will help in the practice of the mantra. Because the mantra, being a sound, a sacred sound, a special sound, but a sound, it is vibration. It comes from a primordial vibration set up in the divine mind. A vibration which is identified with the divine itself, with God himself, herself. So first, repeat the mantra silently, mentally, inwardly. You can move your lips if that's helpful, and many people will find it much easier if you move your lips and you actually form the sound with your lips and tongue without saying it out loud, without even whispering it, but just forming it with the mouth and lips and tongue. You say it in that way, silently, but think that it's rising from the depths of your heart, the lower center of the chest, not the blood pumping organ, but the lower center of your chest, which is our spiritual center and which is the center of our universe. So repeat the mantra, whatever mantra you have or have chosen. Think of it as rising from the depths of the spiritual heart, repeating it rhythmically at your own pace, slowly or quickly, doesn't matter. But first, let us think of it as we repeat it, just as sacred sound, which is sacred vibration, which is purifying and spiritualizing all of the vibrations of our mind and body. That our minds and bodies are being affected by the vibration of the mantra, that it is resounding through the body and mind, purifying both, spiritualizing both, making them fit instruments for the realization of reality, divine reality itself. So again, repeat it rhythmically, slowly or quickly at your own pace. Just establish a rhythm that's comfortable to you, thinking that it rises from the depths of your heart and penetrates your mind and body, purifying and spiritualizing them. And now continue to repeat the mantra inwardly, thinking that it rises from the depths of your heart as a sacred fountain of sound. But think of it as a prayer, that you are uttering it as a prayer to God, to the divine being, as you conceive of God. If you have a chosen ideal, rising in a plea to your chosen ideal. You can even think of it as when you're in a crowded room with lots of commotion, say at a party or a convention or something, and you see someone that you know at a distance. The way to get their attention is to call out their name. It's often noticed that even people who are normally hard of hearing, they hear the softest mention of their own name. And so the name is a way of capturing one's attention. And so we can think of it as we recite it, either as a prayer in our own terms, or we can think of it as just calling on God, supplicating, calling God by name, as you might call someone in a crowded room to get their attention. Not that God really needs to have his attention or her attention attracted to us, but we need it. We need it. The divine is seated within our heart, waiting for us. But it's helpful for us to think that we are calling on God, because it's our minds that need to actually be directed. And if we're thinking that we're calling on God, supplicating God, then that is a help in the process. Such use of the sacred imagination is helpful rather than harmful. So again, repeat it rhythmically from the depths of your heart as a prayer or simply as a supplication. Those of you who are used to doing a visualization as you repeat your mantra, that is fine. You can do that. I'm not speaking in terms of that because I want to give more general and simpler instruction. But if you're used to doing a visualization, that is fine. And now, as you recite the mantra rhythmically from the depths of your heart, think that you are offering it in worship, as you would offer a flower on the altar. That with each repetition, you are offering your heart in love to God. So each repetition is an offering. So in spiritual life, there is prayer and there is worship. The two go together, but the movement is slightly different, complementary, but different. In prayer, we are conversing with God, we're seeking God, we're asking God. even if it's not for anything in particular, or any quality or anything in particular, just asking God for their presence, for their felt awareness. But it says seeking. His worship is a giving of ourself, a giving of our love, a giving of our commitment. And so now recite the mantra again from the depths of the heart, rhythmically, with each repetition being an act of worship, a giving of ourselves. So the mantra as purification, the mantra as prayer, the mantra as worship. Now let us spend a few moments just repeating the mantra, but looking into it as we try to find the source of the mantra which rises from the heart. Just focus on the sound of the mantra, thinking that the mantra comes from the divine being itself. So let me follow the mantra back to the divine being in my heart. The mantra as it arises from the heart, let me look down into it with my attention, not looking actually so much with the eyes, but looking with the ear, listening to the mantra and trying to be aware of the fact that it's coming from the divine being and seeking to follow the sound back to its source. This is much more subtle, but make an effort to try to do that for a few moments. To put the last instruction slightly differently, repeat the mantra, listen to it with a questioning mind. The question being not expressed, but the meaning behind the questioning frame of mind being, from where does the mantra come? And finally, for today, let us continue repeating the mantra and just repeat it with the idea that the mantra is everything. If the mantra is divine, if the mantra is one with God, then there's nothing outside of the mantra. We may not experience that yet. That's at the very heights of realization that we will experience it. But if we have that understanding, we can use it also for when we recite the mantra just trying to identify with the mantra, thinking that there is nothing but the mantra. The mantra is reality, even if I don't know it, even if I don't see it. I understand that the mantra being the sound manifestation of God, it is one with God, and it is reality itself. And so there's nothing but the mantra. And so repeat it with that understanding. And now in closing, each in your own way and your own words, offer the fruits of your meditation to the divine, praying that it be for the welfare of all beings. I'll recite the Gayatri Mantra 3 times. First the translation, then 3 times in Sanskrit, and then the translation again. And with that, I will sign off. And we'll see you next week for the Gita class. We meditate on the effulgent glory of that luminous being who has projected the worlds. May that illuminate our hearts. Om Bhur-bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur-bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur-bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. We meditate on the effulgent glory of that luminous being who has projected the worlds. May that illuminate our hearts. Om.